Welcome to Season 2, Episode 1 of the Next Question podcast here from the Maxwell Studios. Pat, the champ is in the building.
The champ is here. How in the heck are we already at Season 2, dude? I felt like we started this thing yesterday.
Well, I'm in 60 group chats with you, and we're booking guests like crazy, so...
Hey, all joking aside,
Yeah.
man. Tito Ortiz, welcome back to Collier County, man. We love you in Southwest Florida, Freedom Town, USA. You and your wife. Welcome, buddy. Thank God for coming down. Thank God you're here, and thank God that you're still alive.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are going, what are you talking about? I was in a boating accident 11 weeks ago. I got thrown off the boat going 55 miles an hour, hit the water, got knocked out, sunk out like 10 feet, woke up in the water going, this is warm. Wait, I'm in the water. Had to swim to the top. Took about 6 strokes to get to the top, and boat came back around. I was 100 yards away from me, came back around, picked me up, pulled me out of the water, put me on the beanbag, and I've been a little beat up, concussion, neck problems, back problems, numbness down my arms. Took for about maybe 8 weeks to get my speech back because I was missing a lot of it. It was I was stuttering. I was just thinking of the next word to happen. People say, well, you're a fighter, you have CTE, whatever. Bullshit. I was 100% prior to this. I got to get neck surgery on Monday. God to look over me. I'm very fortunate. I am a soldier of God. So just trying to do the right things, and I'm lucky to be here. He put some angels on me and brought me out of the water. I'm very fortunate.
God is good all the time.
I'm glad you guys got these chairs, so actually I haven't got to turn my shoulders. Actually, I got to turn towards you.
Okay, good.
It hurts
good.
my neck to actually bend to the right and left. So
I was wondering why you were twirling around like that, buddy. But
Yeah,
first of
no,
all, you're Tito Ortiz. You're a UFC. You do whatever the hell you want to do. By the way, we have an awesome all-star cast live studio audience. But last time we did an event with you and I, we were at the Alamo, and we were raising money for a charity.
Yeah.
And a guy who does all of our posters, Jim Markling, got to give him a shout out.
Yeah.
He offered to donate $2,000 if Tito Ortiz would smack him across the
Not
face.
smack, it was a slap, and I got some big hands. As you
So
can see.
Tito had him do a disclosure, had him do a video. I, Jim Markling, will not hold Tito Ortiz in any kind of shape or form liability-wise. And Tito just gently slapped him. I don't think Jim Markling's ever come out of a coma since then. But
Haven't seen him since.
hey, speaking of what you went through, and I'm not making light of that, because to hear you tell me you took that whooping after you fought some of the toughest guys and beat the you-know-what out of some of the toughest guys in the world, I don't care who you are. No one can argue the fact, and there's a big documentary that just came out from the UFC that highlights you and how you literally put UFC on the map, and we'll delve into that.
Yeah.
But other than what just happened to you, when's the last time you felt like you felt from somebody hitting you?
Never in my career. A 25-year career, I've never felt anything like that. And the only time I've ever been knocked out unconscious through a 25-year career was the last fight of my career against Anderson Silva, a boxing match, and he hit me in the back of the head, knocked me out, and I remember looking up, and just a couple of seconds later, I looked at the referee, and I was like, he's counting 9, 10, it's over. I was like, oh, shit. But once again, I was 100% after that. I did stem cell injects for the CPI. Everything was perfect on my neck. I recovered, and that concussion lasted maybe a week at the most. This one lasted 8 weeks. It was really, really bad where I couldn't even go to my restaurant. I guess I went to my restaurant a few times for fight nights and UFC
Saw
nights.
you posted, and I'm like,
Yeah.
man, he's back. He looks good, but
I don't remember.
have a smoke and mirrors. Wow.
I was just on cruise control. It's just I've done it so long over the last 3 years at Tito's Cantina in Cape Coral that it just automatically is. I guess I drove there. I guess I went to check in, talk to
moly,
everybody.
Tito.
But once again, it was just in my mind. And I remember a couple little small tidbits of trying to have a conversation with somebody, and I was stuttering, and I was like stopping in the mid sentence of like, and I couldn't think of the next word. I was like, excuse me a second. I got to walk away. And I literally said, I'm done. I'm going to go home. Don't remember driving home. And this happened over an 8-week process. And on Monday, June 8th, I'll have to get neck surgery. I'm getting a disc replaced in my neck. And hopefully the pain will go away. Like I say, for me to have this chair like this, I don't have to bend my neck, which is amazing.
Awesome.
But it was a mistake and a failure on Mercury engines. The autopilot just failed, and going 55 miles an hour and just hooked a 45-degree angle left turn. Threw me off the boat. I went through 2 rods, broke the rods at the rear seats, which I'm a heavy guy. I'm 240 pounds, but my friend said you were in a fetal position when you got thrown off, and you hit the water, bounced twice, and I don't remember any of that. I just remember going, wow, I'm in the water, and I came up to the top. It's just kind of crazy. And I posted something on my social media at Tito Ortiz IG on Instagram, and a lot of people, like all my friends reached out to me. It was like last night I posted it, and I had like 200 text messages. Are you okay? Like 45 calls. People, are you okay? Are you okay? And I had to talk to a lot of guys. One of my friend Jake Harmon, he wrestles, or actually he's a wrestling coach for kids back in California, and he's a man of God. Also, God is looking out for you. I said God looks out for his soldiers, and I'm very fortunate, man. There's an angel that grabbed me. I'm just lucky to be here. I got 3 boys and a beautiful wife and happy family. Business. I just trying to do the right things, and it wasn't my time. He has bigger plans for me.
You also got the best authentic Mexican food in the state of Florida, Tito's Cantina. I'm not even kidding, man. I love that place. I'm not gonna lie to you though. Social media, I'm like, man, that place looks huge. I'm seeing all the posts. Yeah. I was so excited to go there and to get to meet you because I heard your story. Because when you moved out of California, I loved hearing that story. We had a lot of great COVID stories. Right. Yours and Amber's story when you left California, the Communist Republic of California, to come here. And how you came here and people were hurting from the hurricane and you just roll up your sleeves, started helping people. You got a servant's heart. And then you end up moving there and now you're coaching high schools. You don't have to do anything. And the fact that you want to give back and go coach a high school sports, we've got guys in the audience that have done that. That's a real thankless job a lot of days. And the fact that you commit to those kids and to hear you talking about not just your boys, but the seniors you have, and to see that look in your eye.
This year we're going to be really tough at Ida Baker High School. I've been there for 3 years, start my 4th year. And
that first year was tough, dude.
Don't get me wrong. No, it was tough.
It was tough.
Because I'm like yelling at the kids, and to me, it's like a Division I practice. I do exactly what my coach did to me when I was in Division I practice. So the kids like, coach, this is hard. We got girls on the team, we got 8 girls on the team, and they're crying doing stairs. And I'm like, I pull them aside. I go, why are you crying? I go, this hurts. I go, you get through it, right? Like, maybe. And they end up just finish the stairs. All of a sudden, a week later, like, coach, I got this, and not crying. They're blasted past the boys. But it's just great. I coached for 15 years in California, and it was something that I love doing. I do it for free. I do it just strictly. I donate my time.
It's awesome.
It's important. Wrestling saved my life growing up. I was a kid who came from a troublesome home on the streets. And I got a second chance my freshman year in high school. My mother got remarried. Actually had somewhat of a family. I had a roof over my head, lights turned on, hot water. And I just didn't have that as a kid growing up from the age of 7 to 13. But life changed. My mom was willing to leave my father, and she loved him more than anything, and give me an opportunity to get back into school. I started wrestling. I walked in the wrestling room. I go, hey, coach, where's the ring at? He's like, what do you mean ring? I go, like WWF, Hulk Hogan. He's like, no, that's not what this.
Where's Andre the Giant?
Yeah, this is
British
not that,
Bulldogs. Where they at?
Yeah, this is not that type of wrestling. I go, I can slam him, right? He goes, actually, you get points for it. I go, I'm all in. Let's give this a try. Started varsity my first year, and I know people call me Tito Ortiz, but actually my name is Jacob Ortiz. Tito's I've had it since I've been 1. I've always liked that name, but Jacob is my surname. Jacob in the Bible wrestled against an angel. Angel beat him and saved his life, and wrestling saved my life, and it continues doing it to this day. I'm 51 years old. I'm very fortunate to have the people around me, have the blessings from God to give me the powers that I have. But at the end of the day, I got to be responsible for my actions, do the right thing. Every night I go to bed, I look in the mirror and I said, have you done something good today? Like even last night at Lobster Lady in Cape Coral, there was a guy, and he was a Catholic, and he's like, yeah, one of the I'm not going to say his name, but he's like, yeah, one of the priests molested me when I was a kid. And that happens a lot. And that's vicious. I go, you know what? It's not your fault. And he started busting down crying. I'm like, it's not your fault, man. He's like, no one has ever told me like that. I go, dude, God's real. God will help you. I go, I'm a Christian. I was baptized in 2023.
I remember that.
And since then, I've been able to accept someone in my life to help me, to make me be a better person. And I'm not really a Bible thumper. I go to church maybe once a month at the most. I'm very busy. I have running a business and my family. It
coaching.
Takes coaching. It takes a lot of my time, and I like to be home. I like to get my sleep in, of course, but if I go online and I watch Cape Christian, it fulfills that what I want, and it's important. God is there. God will help. And I talked to that guy last night, and he was just like, I don't believe in it. I go, if you give him a chance, he'll accept you no matter what. He'll accept 1,000%. Anybody who has sins, and you don't have to say a bunch of Hail Marys to be accepted into the Lord's place. But at the end of the day, it is really important that you focus on the things to make yourself a better person. Surround yourself with good people. And I kept telling them, I go, show me your 5 friends, and I'll show you your future. And I tell that to my kids all the time, and they don't understand it. And finally, right now, they're 17, and they're starting to understand it. I got twin boys, Jesse and Journey. They've had some trouble over the last 3 years of just hanging out with kids that aren't their level. And I'm like, if you surround yourself and you're the best kid of the group, you're in the wrong group. You got to be the bottom kid where you're fulfilling these kids that are bringing you up with them, saying you're great. Come on, let's do this. No, don't do that. Let's do this better. And that's just friendship in general. You know, at being the age I'm right now, I still surround myself with good people like yourself and like yourself. I mean, it's important. I mean, all these guys that I hang out with, it just makes me a better person, makes me a better man, better father, better businessman, and just surround yourself with good people. That's what success is truly about.
And I'm going to tell you, and Pat, I mean, I hope there's, I agree with you. Show me your 5 friends. I'll show you your future.
Yep.
I'm hoping there's a couple exceptions because my 5 friends, you know, Pat Jira, Ricky Haas, Jay Campbell, and Garrett Callback, and Tim Jarrett. I'm hoping that I don't get judged for all that because I'm not going to lie to you. The future don't look too bright.
Yeah, but
So
you
rules.
could be the person to actually thrive to make them a little better person.
Okay, good. Jay, did you hear that? Garrett, did you hear that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Garrett's a little different. You need to catch up to him, so it's a little different.
Pat, talk about trials and tribulations. So you got 3 guys up here, and I'm just going to cut to the chase. We're all broken. We're all flawed.
100%.
This guy did it on a big world stage. I love how humble Tito is when you were literally not arguably, pound for pound, the baddest man on earth. And to come from your background, you know, you and I we've done other shows. I've been with you at Mar-a-Lago, and I've seen the biggest world leaders in the world lined up to come shake your hand. But what I see how you handled that stuff with grace, with class, and you always, I don't care who you're talking to, you always put God first. And I sit back and I struggle because a lot of times I put God first when times are tough. If I had hit that boat and hit that water, I guarantee I would have been dead. Most people would have been. But as I'm laying in that water, all my attention would have been praying to God to save my life. It's when things are going great.
And then
I throw my chest out and I go, I got this.
I think that's a lot of problem with people is like when things are great, they're just like, thank you so much. But when things are hard, they're like, where is he to help me? But once again, it goes down to he's only going to give you what you can handle, no more, no less. And it's a challenge. To me, it's always a challenge. It's a competition challenge of seeing what type of character I am, what type of man I am, if I'm able to work through those things to better myself. And at the end of the day, it was to better the people around me. And like speaking to that guy last night, I think I brought him. He's like, can I go to church with you? Yeah, I haven't been to church almost a month. Let's go. So this coming weekend, before I go to get surgery done, I think I'm going to go to church, bring him and kind of bring him into the Christian side of it. You know, him being a Catholic, he's like, I hated it. As a kid, I hated it because, you know, another person was flawed and wasn't able to separate himself from the evil that truly goes on. And a lot of people that are in the Catholic, I'm not trying to attack Catholics, but there's people that just have the devil on their side and they're using a religion to protect how evil they truly are. And once again, the people who do get molested, kids that do have bad things happen to them, it's not their fault. And you need to understand,
1000%.
It literally goes down to the person that's doing it. And you know, God is there to help. And you know, people say, you know, 2 things you don't talk about is religion and politics. You know why they do that? Because they don't want you to learn. They don't want you to accept. They don't want you to understand and question everything that's happening. Because right now in this country, there's questioning. You know, I grew up during the Reagan era, and it was one of the things you said, communism is only a day away. Listen, everybody, communism is here now. It's happening in California. It's happening in New York. It's happening in all this Chicago. It's happening in all these big states that are
Minneapolis,
blue states. And the Democrats now are not the Democrats of now. They're literally communists. The Democrats of the old, those are now the new conservatives. You know, the things they love is faith, family, and freedom. These are the things that they've actually, less government. They want that. That's what we want. We want the same thing. And I think about Republicans. A lot of them now are really Democrats that are switching over to Republicans. They want to get the Republican vote. And they're actually putting on a mask of something they truly are not. So you got to watch out when you're voting to make sure you do your research. And that's important. That's something that I understood back in 2020. I was locked in my house for a year. I mean, I had nothing to do. Restaurants weren't open. Gyms weren't open. And what I did is get online and watch history, what history it is, so we don't repeat history to how it was. And right now, communism is here. Socialism is here. What they're doing in the schools in California is criminal. I mean, talk about a kid's sexual identity at 8 years old, 9 years old. You're confusing kids. These kids barely can wash their teeth and wipe their ass clean before they can understand if they're a man or a dog or a cat or a Furby or just, it's nonsense, craziness, and it's really confusing a lot of kids as they're growing up and then older. They're able to be controlled at that age because they've already been doing it and been pretty much indoctrinated through schools, indoctrinated through mainstream media. And my mother is a victim of that. She watched CNN all the time, and she's like, yeah, ICE are killing people. I'm like, this is BS. Let the police do their job. We want our city safe. We want to make sure that our children are safe. We want to make sure the community's safe. and not have to worry about it. You know, when I lived in California before I left, my house got robbed. They cut the safe out of the ground. They got $375,000 in cash. Took all my wife's purses, took all of her shoes, took all of our jewelry. We probably ended up losing about almost $750,000. The insurance paid us out to $80,000 because my wife had pictures of everything that she lost. And it was heartbreaking. My home didn't feel like a home anymore. It felt like I was violated, and it was disgusting. My friends who are sheriff and PD, they're like, Tito, you got to carry a gun now. I was like, what do you mean I got to carry a gun? He goes, we cannot do our job now. I knew that was a problem. Then all of a sudden, my kid comes from school. He's like, Dad, the teacher called me a sheep. I'm like, excuse me? He goes, yeah, the teacher called me a sheep because one of my friends who owns Lions Not Sheep clothing, he always gives us clothing. And my kids love to wear it to school. And I'm walking into class, and the teacher looked at him and goes, hey, sheep, get in the class. And he's like, Dad, you always told me to respect my elders. You always told me to respect the teachers. I wanted to say something really bad, but I remember just you telling me that, so I didn't do anything. I lost my mind. I was like, okay, I'm gonna beat
Note
this
to
guy
teachers, don't ever give one of Tito Ortiz's kids a hard time. I'm just going to say it right now.
No,
I wouldn't.
I mean,
I know.
As a teacher, I did physical education, my major, special education teaching. I wanted to be a teacher. I want to be a resource teacher. I want to be a wrestling coach. That was my job. But as a teacher, you're there to excel the kid to greatness.
Encourage them.
Not to demoralize them and to say that they're sheep. I mean, like, I lost my mind, and I had to call my friend who was a sheriff. Like, dude, this happened. I was like, just goes, Tito, calm down. Like, no, I'm going to kick this guy's ass. He goes, no, you can't do that. You don't want to go to jail. He goes, go ahead and talk to the principal. Bring him in, and I did. We sat down, and Amber was like, she was irate. She was so pissed.
I don't want to mess with Amber either, man. That girl can throw
we sat
fisticuffs.
down. We talked to the principal, and I told her exactly what happened. She's like, well, right now in this environment, he's like, I want to deal with how things are happening now. I go, let me ask you a question. You went to Cal Berkeley, didn't you? He goes, wow, how'd you know? I go, you're being indoctrinated too. I go, what you're doing is wrong to these kids. You can't, because they have like a BLM flag. They have a gay pride flag. And once again, I have gay friends. I have no problem with that at all.
But you can't wear a shirt that says, I love Jesus. They send you home from school. You can't wear a cross on a shirt or a flag. They send you home.
And it's mind-blowing because what they're indoctrinating the kids there. And I was like, okay, this is enough for me. And I was on city council. I was mayor pro tem Huntington Beach at the time.
Was the mayor.
I resigned because they attacked me. They said I was stealing from the government, that I was not being a good father because I went with my kid in a mask. Like, it was just one thing after another. And I just like, you know what? It's time to go to Florida because it's a free state. Everybody here is awesome. I came here after Hurricane Ian to come help, raise $150,000. We did generators, water, tarps, power
Before
tools.
you even moved, you came here for
I
your
came
buddy,
here before he moved.
and you started helping him. The big hurricane came.
Yep.
Thanks, by the way, for bringing that hurricane to us.
No,
Appreciate it.
it wasn't me. I watched because I called my friend because we're big fishermen, and we use windy maps, and I saw the hurricane right in front. It was probably about maybe 80 miles out, and the wind was pushing east. I go, it's coming right to you. He goes, no, it's not. I go on windy maps and look. He goes, oh shit, that was Wednesday night. Radio silence until Sunday or Saturday. Saturday night at 1 a.m. He called me in California. He goes, hey, Tito, do you think you come down and help? I go, I got you. Called two of my friends. They got really big companies. They gave me a significant amount of money. I came here. We bought generators. We bought power tools for Matt
Before you
Lachey,
even
Pine Island,
moved here,
Captiva.
you knew one guy here.
But that's
in Cape
God's
Coral.
work,
I
man.
know,
It's
that's
important.
awesome,
It's God's
man.
work. It's important. But
That's
once again,
awesome.
everything happens for a reason. I was able to see a great community. Police were able to do their job. There's no homeless encampments everywhere.
By the way, we have some of them in the audience today, man. Shout out. Not just to locally. We are blessed. We are spoiled and blessed to have the best law enforcement, best first responders.
But
in
America
the
needs to
world.
understand that this can be you. This state, what DeSantis has done, now Byron Donald's going to step in and do exactly even a little better.
B.
But
Donalds.
I'm very impressed of how this state's been ran because I've lived in California for 47 years and just watch it deteriorate year after year after year. Where I had to leave. I mean, thank God I was financially able to pick up everything, sell everything, and come here and live in a free state of Florida. But a lot of people don't have that opportunity. But actually, they do have the opportunity to change it. Right now, this vote for governor, for Mayor Pratt of L.A., here's your opportunity, California, to change that state.
Mayor Pratt, let's
and
go.
once again, if you're a Republican, you're a Democrat or a Libertarian, it does not matter.
I'm an American.
If you want a safe city, and if you want your children to be protected, you want your community to be protected, where the homeless get taken, not even away, just put in homes, and there's drug problems, there's mental problems, there's a lot of stuff that needs to be dealt with that. But I believe that Pratt in L.A., he'll have a great team to do that. I believe in Bianco, but I mean, either one, Bianco or Hilton, if they're able to get in there and change and help things. I know Hilton is endorsed by Trump, and California don't like Trump. Okay, I'll take that back. 50% of California don't like Trump. I get it. They've been Democrats their whole life. They believe what social media has told them about Donald Trump. You know, I've worked for Donald Trump on The Celebrity Apprentice. I've known him since 2001. He's an amazing guy. You know, if you want to see a person how they are, look at their children. Yeah. And that's the most important thing, what type of father he is. And he's the same way. He's a businessman. And this country can be ran as a business. That's how you're able to be successful. And what he's doing, it's all been a big plan. And people are saying, oh, we've been waiting for this big plan since 2020. Well, 2020 to 2024, he didn't have an opportunity to do it because they cheat and they stole the vote. And I mean, that's a long other story. But once again, it is important right now for California to make the change. And they have the opportunity to do it. If you guys want to live in a free state like here in Florida, you guys need to be the ones to make the change. But if you guys don't want to do that, you want to continue down this spiral of just a third world country, you continue living like it. Because here in Florida, it's beautiful. Everybody says hello and you're in the community. You know, when I moved, people came to my house, bringing me a bottle of wine. Welcome to the community. None of them knew who I were at all, besides one guy. He walked up, he was like, you're Tito Ortiz. Give me 1 second. He went to his house, came back, he gave me a bag. He goes, welcome to Florida. It was a Glock 47 with a bunch of ammo. I was like, okay, I'm in Florida now. This is awesome. He goes, Tito, sheriff lives here.
Who was your neighbor? Was it Jim Bloom? Was it Jim Bloom? Was Jim Bloom your neighbor?
Johnny.
Okay.
No, Johnny. Yeah, one of my friends, Johnny. It was like, I mean, he's a friend now, but first time I met him when he came to my home. But he's like, yeah, sheriff lives here, police live here, fireman lives here, and my community there is just safe. It's nice.
That's first responders. Man.
It's awesome. You're driving down the street, and it's like it feels like a great community. It's like people are like, hi, how are you? They don't even know me, and I just want to be acknowledged. And I do the same thing when I'm driving by. People drive by, I like to give a hand wave. That's how a community should come together. And here in Southwest Florida, I fell in love. I love it. It's amazing. Everybody's awesome. And here in Naples, you come down, and it's only a 35-minute drive from my home. It's like when I lived in Huntington Beach, going to Beverly Hills, is coming here to Naples. Pretty much the same thing, but actually everybody's nice here. You know, you go down to Mercado.
Well, Ann claims, your buddy conservative Ann from Cape Coral claims we're a little bougie down here in Naples. So,
well, that's how Beverly Hills is. Same thing.
Now, he said that. He said that as I gave him caviar. Caviar was falling out of his mouth. So I don't know what you're talking about bougie in Naples. But
yeah, but everybody's nice, man. Like I say, it's a great community. I love it.
That's awesome, man. Cool. We're thankful to have you down here. So the guy,
they push them in and out. I mean, guys get lucky if they get one match a year. And once again, that's just business the way they do it. They want to make sure the fighters don't get bigger than the company.
Transition because you had that horrific thing happen.
Yeah.
You've had other things happen where you and you're a man of God. Pat Jira and I are both imperfect and flawed as well, and we're I don't ever claim to be a Christian. A Christian means you're Christ-like. I claim to be a follower of Christ. I'm trying to be like Christ.
And it was funny, that was a conversation I had to get with the guy last night. He was like, yeah, what's the difference between a Republican and a conservative? I go, well, Republicans, they can go either way. They can tell you what you want to hear to make you happy and try to execute that. A conservative is a person who loves God, loves their country, and will speak the truth no matter what. And God comes first. So at the end of the day, I'm not a Republican. I'm a conservative. I'm a person.
I gotta be honest. That name, that moniker, those names. I'm not a big name tag guy, right? Yeah. You're a Lutheran. You're a Catholic. You talked about earlier. Yeah. You know how many friends of mine that were former recovering Catholics? They were. I don't care. And again, it's just horrific to think about being molested. But think about just being wronged at a church. I've met so many people that were just hurt at their church, and they leave church, and that's not what God and Jesus had intended. So churches are run by men. Yeah. And women.
Let me tell you, at Cape Christian, it is the most amazing church I've ever, because I go to Calvary Chapel all the time in California, but it was always talking about revelations of like, you better do great right now because when you die, you're going to hell. If you don't, you got to do great so you actually make it to heaven. At Calvary or at Cape Christian, it is totally different. It's about the community, about how they can help each other. That's what God wants no matter what. Help your community, be the person to treat people the way you want to be treated. You know, put God first, and it's important.
Put Jesus first.
Yeah. I mean, it's really, really important. The way the way he speaks there, it just makes it inviting.
Who's your pastor there?
It's Pastor Corey.
See the one that, he's the one that baptized you all. I saw that when you and you were in the Gulf.
Yes.
So I'm just gonna. It's how God works. You get born again. You get baptized. It was you, your wife, were your sons too,
my two boys.
and your family get baptized in the Gulf of America. And I got a friend of mine in the audience right now from First Naples, and First Naples is where me and my family go. Shout out to Pastor Allen, man. So same kind of thing. It's an inclusive group that wants everybody to know, no matter what we've done in our life, all are welcome, and Jesus loves us all. You just got to accept it. So, and Pat and I and Ricky, we go to a men's group every Tuesday at Seed the Table, And I call us a band of misfits. And again, a bunch of guys all broken and flawed. And we're reading this book right now that Pastor Allen from First Baptist, First Naples gave us called Fighting the Shadows.
Mm-hmm.
The shadows that men fight.
Right.
Porn, gambling, women, alcohol, drugs, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm not going to lie to you, man. Every time I walk into a room, I've said this before on other shows, I feel like I'm the biggest sinner that walks into a room. But I know in my heart, because God knows my heart, I know that I'm going to be in heaven because He's forgiven me for my past sins. And He knows everything that I've done. And He still loves me and accepts me. But when you get knocked out in that water, and then all of a sudden, go back a couple years ago, you got baptized in that same Gulf.
Right.
Did any of that go through your mind? Like, I just got baptized in this water, and now I'm about to die in this water.
Once again, I woke up to being warm. Like, I was like,
what do you mean being warm? You're in the Gulf of America.
That's why
it's already 98 degrees.
Yeah, it's like it was warm water. I felt like I was in
This
is like a jacuzzi. I was like, wait, I'm in the water, and I had like big strokes to get to the top of the water. I'm like, I was like, I got born again at that time again. I was like, my breath. I was like, oh my God, I almost drowned right there. Came back around, picked me up, pulled me out of the water. Took 4 guys to pull me out of the water, laid on the beanbag. My whole right side of my head was bruised. My eyeball was all bloodshot. 3 days later, I was like crying blood out of my eye because it was actually getting condensed, was being pushed out of my eye. Like I say, for 8 weeks, I don't remember a lot of things at all.
Have you been back on a boat since?
Yeah, twice actually. Once in Guantanamo Bay, another time, and I was at West Palm. And we only went out for half a day because I couldn't take it anymore. Just my neck hurt so bad from the pounding. When I went to Guantanamo Bay, it was actually really flat. We didn't go fast.
How was that trip? I saw that.
Oh, that was cool. You know, it was for Memorial Weekend. I went with one of my friends. It's called Fund the Blue Foundation. And what they do is just take a bunch of artists, country guys. Myself was an MMA fighter, another guy who's BKF, bare knuckle fighter, and we did seminars. I did a wrestling seminar, submission seminar to help out, and it was hard for me to do it. That day we did that in the morning, and we were supposed to go to the border to go see Cuba, and I couldn't. I literally laid in bed until like 8 o'clock at night. I was just in so much pain. But once again,
the fact that you went,
yeah, well, you got to sacrifice for people. You got to give people an opportunity. Everybody was so happy that I was there. Like
Tito, I've never heard anybody. I know a lot of the events you go to, and not just political. You do so much in the Cape. You've come down here for huge events that support great not-for-profits.
Yeah.
You're knocked up, concussed, banged up, bleeding out your eye, and yet you still go to Guantanamo for this trip. Like, dude, your motor's unbelievable, man.
Well, I mean, last year they had the same event, and went to was it CPI in Tijuana? I got stem cell injections in my knee and my mid back, and I came back and I could barely walk, and we were supposed to go there and back for one day. Cardone and his wife has a private jet. They're like, yeah, we're going to go there.
Grant Cardone.
Yep. And they ended up not being able to do it. So it was actually a one flight over there for 3 days. I go, I can't do that for 3 days. So I came home and I felt so bad because all the troops, they expect me to be there. So when I came back this year, that situation happened. I was like, should I go? My head hurts. My neck hurts. I told Amber, I go, I think if I get pain medications, I think I could handle it. And I did. I got there, I had no problem. I did the seminar. I had a lot of problems that day. I literally laid in bed. My wife said, babe, we're in Guantanamo Bay. Can we go do this? I was like, my neck hurts just from just drilling. And we weren't wrestling live. We weren't doing anything. I told him I would do it, so I had to follow through no matter what the pain was. And the pain was actually very severe for me. You know, I had to sleep all day. You know, we went out that night. I was a little bit better. After you have a couple cocktails in you, it kind of takes the pain away a little bit. But I mean, once again, that's not a sin. It's just me enjoying my life. I'm very thankful for God for giving me the things I have to be in this situation right now. But
showed up, man.
In anything for those veterans or for those troops, they were happy. They were happy. You know, we're having a great time doing photos with everybody, reaching out and just, you know, kind of spreading the word of just, I'm proud of you guys. Thank you for fighting for our country and being here. You know, there's a lot of work that needs to be on the base just because it was a little run down. Look at the golf course. Golf course was just not a golf course, and they're golfing on it. I'm like, we need to get money to these guys. So they're there, and there's 5,000 troops there, and they have a McDonald's that's getting taken away. They have 2 other small restaurants. It's just like, I've been to other bases across the United States, across the world, Iraq, God, Kuwait.
You did so much for our troops.
Germany, Japan. I've been to so many, and you go.
Thanks for doing that. We got a bunch of veterans here in the office, in the audience, and I'm a veteran. And I saw you before I knew who you were. I remember The Apprentice with Donald Trump, and you did a phenomenal job on that, man. Like I didn't know really who you were. I'm like the first show, you're like, oh, that guy's gonna get voted off the first day because he can't be.
That was 8 weeks. 8 weeks.
You were sharp,
buddy. Who else was on there?
Crushed
on
it.
The Apprentice.
It was Pierce Morgan.
James Bond.
No,
Right?
yeah,
No, Pierce Morgan played 007.
Pierce Brosnan. Next question.
Okay.
Pierce
Come
Morgan.
on,
He actually
smart
had a
enough.
show.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, no, he actually kind of turncoat on Trump there for a little while.
Yeah.
God, who else was on it? Lennox Lewis.
Lennox Lewis.
Trace Atkins. Omarosa.
Omarosa.
Yeah, Omarosa. She's a vicious person when that camera turned on. Let me tell you, she wasn't the person that she was. The camera's turned off. And people like that, they got characters like that. They want to do it, but
How scripted was that?
it was not scripted.
No?
They actually fed us alcohol and said, get on TV and just kind
let
of
it roll.
hate each other. But I mean, I was working hard because to me, it was, I was at St. Jude's Children's Hospital was my donation that I was given. All the money that went to it, I ended up doing about $150,000 for St. Jude's Children's Hospital.
Awesome.
You know, when I got fired.
It lasted a long time, man.
Yeah, I lasted 8 weeks. You know, before I got fired, we did a management project, and I was a manager for it.
Yes, I remember.
And it was for a women's magazine, and we had Omarosa on our team, and Omarosa didn't want to do it. I was like, you don't want to do this? She goes, no, you do it. So they actually set me up. And it was bad. I mean, I wasn't really doing the hard work that I normally would do.
Yeah,
and
but it's a women's
when I was trying to talk, and
Tito Ortiz in charge.
and Trump goes, I've never seen you so nervous in my life. I'm talking Donald Trump right now. It's like, but I think I just wasn't prepared. I think you got to be prepared if you're going to be a manager of something you want to promote. And we did small writing. It was just wasn't what the magazine needed. And it was me, Trace Atkins, and Omarosa. And Omarosa threw me under the bus. And at that time, her and Pierce Morgan, they're talking about family. They're talking about their kids. Like, she was being vicious. I'm like, I thought this is for charity. Why are you guys doing this? It's making me look bad. It's making you guys look bad. So I knew that was the time for me to step away. But Mr. Trump, he actually goes, Tito Ortiz, you're an amazing man. I'm giving you $50,000 to your charity, but you're fired. I was like, thank you so much for this opportunity. I got an opportunity, throughout those 8 weeks to talk to him almost every day. That's amazing, awesome. Man. He was just very genuine, very humble. And for me to see that when 2016 came about, to see how bad mainstream media was kind of attacking it, was painting this picture of a racist, a bigot, things like that. I go, you guys are out of your mind. But then I understood what the main project of them trying to do. Their agenda is just to push not what America's is, but for them to be controlled by a government that we don't even know who's who. And it's scary. It is. The more I look, the more I research, the more I just study other people, because now social media is so big that people are actually digging even deeper than I'm digging. And they tell me, and I'm like, I start looking it up, and I see the truth behind that. I'm like, okay, this is getting a little scary.
Crazy, man.
And
you go down that rabbit hole, buddy. I'm telling you.
It's not even a rabbit hole. It's just what people don't want to hear.
It's
literal.
It's just crazy.
Scary.
It's scary. I mean, so, okay, let's pause rabbit holes for 1 second.
All good.
I want to talk about the UFC. So there's a huge fight coming up in D.C.
Yeah.
Well, to talk about that card in a second, I know you still host big. Everybody comes to your place.
Yep.
The UFC legend, Tito's Cantina, for all UFC fight nights and the big fights. When you're watching these guys, is there somebody there that you really enjoy, that you know, and or you really like the way they fight?
Yeah, was it Sean Strickland? I
Love
don't know him personally. I've been in the gym a few times, the same gym that I was training at.
Great fight he just won, by the way, man. Unbelievable.
But that comes down to heart and dedication. He is a guy who goes to every gym and trains with everybody, and he's just like a sponge. He's just soaking knowledge nonstop, and I think that's what won the fight for him. Is just being a person that has been there so many times. That Chimaev actually is a super tough guy, Dagestan wrestler and fighter, but he's an amazing former champion now. But just Strickland was able to defend the takedowns, which normally guys cannot do with him. Chimaev usually takes a guy down and chokes him and just manhandles him, and Strickland was able to get to his feet and continue to strike, and that's what won him the fight, is just keeping him away. And it was amazing. I'm proud of the guy, and with going back to UFC 250, it's going to be a great card. I hope that who is
Chandler.
Chandler's on the card, but he's fighting a guy who's a Duffy who's tough as hell. He's like on a 8-fight win streak.
I like Chandler.
Bo Nichols is on the card, which I'm proud that he's on a card. Amazing guy. He's a soldier of God also. you know, a lot of the fights on there are going to be really good fights. At the beginning, I thought, I was like, this is kind of a weak card. But now that I look at it and see the guys who are on it, I think it's going to be a really good card. And this is history. This is something that will never be done again. It's a one and done. And those guys to be fighting on the card in the White House, that is amazing. That is just like, you got to be proud for that. I mean, it don't matter if, you know, like, who's it? The champion from Spain. I forget his name. But anyways, for him to be a part of that is like,
talking about, good golly.
Nice catch, Colonel.
Man, Colonel. I know you're talking about.
Pereira. Speaking of
Pereira.
Alex Pereira, he's from Brazil. But,
Brazil.
Yeah,
sorry.
he's fighting Cyril Gane.
Yeah, he is. But all of them in the White House with Trump.
That's
awesome.
a heavyweight fight, and was it Pereira's stepping up to heavyweight? He actually used to be a welterweight.
Yes.
And then not welterweight, middleweight, and then he went to light heavyweight. Won those two titles. Now he has an opportunity to win the title at heavyweight. But Cyril Gane is a great striker. Pereira is a great striker. So I think it's going to be a really, really good fight. I'm excited to see what's going to happen.
Speaking of UFC, you and Dana White. Where does that relationship stand?
No relationship at all. He attacks me nonstop.
It looked like there was some chance of maybe, you know.
I tried. I've talked to him. I tried, but I just.
And just came out and attacked him again. Now there's some big documentary out there.
Well, no, that documentary that actually was shown, that was past when they first bought the company. That was back when Dana said I was a really smart guy. But when you negotiate the way Dana negotiates, he doesn't like that. And all of a sudden become a dumb guy that is completely stupid, horrible businessman. He was talking about me. I'm like, okay, I understand what you're trying to do. That's defamation of my name, defamation of me, attacking my character. But that's like politics. That's exactly what politicians do. Same exact thing 100%. To a T. And people believe it. I mean, yes, I've done interviews and I was like not comfortable. I was nervous. I said something bad. I'm not really coherent of things I heard, didn't hear the question correctly. But that happens. I do thousands of interviews. I mean, through my career, I was the guy who actually stepping up and speaking for the UFC. Everybody couldn't do it. Everybody didn't want to do it.
I love watching your old videos.
Yeah, I know. But once again, there was a video I just posted on my Instagram at Tito Ortiz IG, and it showed when UFC loved me. Lorenzo Fertitta talking highly of me. Dana was talking highly of me.
Still forget Furtadas, forget Dana.
Yeah.
The UFC world still loves you.
Yeah, that's all the great fans. You know, all the millions.
Every
of
time
fans.
I walk in that headquarters, I called you. I've actually seen Tito Ortiz's statue right there. You need to be there. I'm telling you, I'm not giving up till that happens.
Yeah, well, I mean, once again, it came down on a negotiation with Dana. He negotiated the way that I learned it from him, and when he negotiated before the UFC was bought, I was the main guy. I was the world champion, and they bought the company and said, "Oh, I did that. We didn't buy the company because of you." Lorenzo said right off the bat, there was a great-looking guy, big, burly,
there was nothing
smart,
to it.
good-looking guy, and then we had another guy with the mohawk. It was like, that was back when
Tito
Chuck
Ortiz
was my boy.
And Chuck Liddell.
Yeah, well, Chuck was my boy. We were training partners.
Yeah.
But then as they bought the company, it was like, here was their opportunity and their agenda to say that that I hate Chuck and Chuck hates me, and that was an opportunity to build something. And I was like, Chuck, you're really going to sell out like this? And he did. And once again, I love Chuck. I have no problem with him. Our last fight, I stopped him in the first round. People are like, oh, he was old. He's like 5 years older than me. I mean, our age pretty much matched the same way. It's just at that time I was a different monster. I was a different animal, and I told him not to take a fight.
Buddy.
He called me out, and I go, dude, you don't want to fight me. He goes, oh, you better just show up. And drinking the same Kool-Aid from Dana. And it just, I wish that things didn't go down the way they did, but at that time I really had to defend myself. I didn't know any other way. I didn't trust a lot of people because there was a time where I fought, Ryan Bader, and they took out $450,000 away from me because it was on pay-per-view. He says, either you get the $450,000 or you get a pay-per-view bonus. I was like, I'll do the pay-per-view bonus because I've done so much PR to sell this fight right now. So they actually stiffed me for $450,000. And for him to say, and I want to
Dana White.
I want to make this correct right now. And Dana, I hope you're watching this because this is really important. For you to say that I would not fight unless you gave more money, that is complete bullshit. That is a lie. I mean, I'll take a lie detector test. I mean, and I want you to take a lie detector test. And everybody, if you guys want to see how Dana lies, look how many times he blinks and he'll look to the left. That's an automatic detail of a liar. And for him to say that I stepped out of fights because I wanted more money, that is bullshit. I fought with a fractured orbital bone. I fought with a ruptured disc in my neck. I had no choice. I remember doing the Ultimate Fighter, and I got kicked off. They put somebody in the last week and a half, and I've been coaching these kids the whole time because they wanted somebody to fight Chuck, and I had to go get neck surgery. I got C6, C7 fused. They never talked about it. What they said was, oh, T's afraid of fighting Chuck. I was like, dude, this propaganda bullshit is just a complete lie. And it's been like that forever from the very beginning.
You know what's wild what you said? And I never thought of this. It's just like politics.
It's just 100%. It's just like politics.
It's lies and fake news and manipulation to get people against each other to get the maximum amount.
The proof is in the pudding.
I want you to
look in the
down.
very beginning.
You're ready to I'm scared you're gonna start bowing up right now. Don't get all worked up.
No, I'm just saying. It makes me mad because when someone lies about me like that, I'm an honest man.
Hell yeah.
I'm a hardworking man. I used to work for them for free when I would do PR. Like we go to New York, Chicago, Florida, LA, and then I would do all these promotions for free. I never accepted any money. I not accepted. They never gave me any money. I remember doing the first UFC game, second UFC game, third UFC game, fourth UFC game, fifth UFC game. I never got a penny of that stuff. They used my image to do that. And it was just things that I look at. It's like through my career of 16 years of UFC, I probably got them a little bit over $400 million. Want to know how much money I made? I made 20. I made 20 out of that, and that does not make sense. 10 of that goes to the taxes.
Yep.
The other 10, I bought a home for my mom. I bought my own home, and I was able to have to survive. I bought cars. I got things as a kid that I dreamt of. I wrote down goals that I wanted, and I accomplished those goals. And every single time I did, I was like, all right, this is great, this is great, this is great. Now I was able to take care of my family, take care of my kids. I have nothing to worry about. Still, at the end of the day, I'm a blue-collar guy. I got to work. I have my restaurant. I still got to do PR. I still got to do interviews. I still got to do things, momotivational speaking.
You're coaching high school football.
I mean, the things that I've done.
You show up for every event, for veterans, for law enforcement, for first responders.
But at the end of the day, I'm very thankful for my fans. If you guys are watching this now, thank you. I love you. I appreciate you because they come to my restaurant. People come and talk to me and they go, "You're not the person I've seen on television." And people got to understand that was an image that I had to put up to make money. I had to be the Huntington Beach bad boy. I had to do that, and I did it to a T because as a kid growing up, I watched Muhammad Ali. I watched Hulk Hogan. Muhammad Ali was a professional fighter. Hulk Hogan was a professional entertainer. If I was able to find that happy medium in between, that was something that I did. That was the Huntington Beach bad boy, Tito Ortiz. And it was something that was a kid that I had nothing. Parents are drug addicts. My mother got sober, got me a new life. I got back to wrestling, and I wrestled my butt off. And I'd watch Hulk Hogan. He's like, "Say your prayers, take your vitamins, brother." I had an opportunity to meet Hogan when I was 19, and I shook hands with him, and he was like, "God, you're a scrappy kid." I go, "Hogan, I wrestled because of you." And fast forward it 6 years later, when I was the world champion, he came to me and goes, "Hey, Tito, come here, brother." I was like, "Holy shit, it's Hulk Hogan talking to me." Like, "I'm really proud of you." I go, "You don't understand."
That's
when
awesome.
I was 19, I see Huntington Beach at Bash to the Beach, and I never stopped believing that put God first and just work hard and
awesome.
eat correctly and just train your butt off. You become world champion. And I had an opportunity to sit down with him at TNA Wrestling back in 2012, and had about a 3-hour conversation. Everything that I went through the UFC, he went through the same thing through WWE with McMahon. And that's how Dana treats me. And so at the end of the day, like I say, you know what, Dana, I apologize. I'm not going to continue to do this nonstop, but from now on, all the shit you say about me, it's hateful. I know you have dark heart. You don't believe in God. I believe it, man. It just, I wish you would accept it, because at the end of the day, life's too short to hate. And before you're too old enough and, you're sitting at those pearly gates and God says, "You know what, you're not a good person," and doesn't accept you, I apologize, and I hope you find God. I hope you find something that makes your heart a little brighter. It's really important, because things like this is what make people true men. And forgiveness is everything you possibly can do.
Raw, real, and next question, man. I'm telling you. He's ready
so
to
real
ball
quick
on this
before we
show.
close out and do rapid fire, this is the Mount
Rapid
Rushmore
fire.
part of the
Now,
show.
by
This
way,
is
he'll be swiveling back and forth, though. He's going, dude.
Yeah, no.
Let's go.
I'm glad you guys out this actually.
so we do the Mount Rushmore part of the show. This is actually really cool, because 3 of the 4 guys on my Mount Rushmore are in this room today.
Wow.
Timmy G, Colonel Bloom, and Pat Dearborn.
You got Cuyahoga County's finest.
Give me
man,
your
Jim
Mount
Bloom,
Rushmore
Timmy
for
G.
UFC
Wow.
and wrestling.
For UFC, Anderson Silva, John Jones, George St. Pierre, and Mighty Mouse. He was a lightweight, eight-time UFC world champion. I think that just because of being a world champion and doing the things they did, I wouldn't put myself there just because
I would.
of everything that I've been demoralized. I've had my character assassination that Dana has done.
No, you're up there.
You're on the Mount Rushmore UFC. I guarantee you survey the world right now. I guarantee you. Tito Ortiz is in the Mount Rushmore.
I mean, being a
for
5-time
UFC.
world champion. Actually, I was the first double champ. I was a middleweight champ, then a light heavyweight champ. I was the first. Connor wasn't the first, but they really
Talk that talk, champ.
Yeah, they trying to erase me from UFC. That's the thing.
They can't.
If they actually would give me the credit that I've had and credit is due, I mean, I'm a Hall of Famer. I mean,
they need to
had a great
embrace you,
career.
man. It'd be good for the UFC.
I mean, I was one of the first guys to get on mainstream media, doing Celebrity Apprentice, being on MTV, going to the troops in Iraq for the USO. That's what started the whole thing for all the fighters to go to the USO, to go to Iraq. I was the first one to start all that. And I'm not talking to myself, I'm
No.
calling myself out, but I just done so much that they really kind of demoralize and just self-assassination or character assassination. They've kind of put me down and just say, oh, Tito's not like that. And all these other fans, they talk shit, and it's like, it drives me. I'm going to say it drives me crazy. It just makes me go, that's sad that you think that way. If you look at my history of things I've done, I'm very lucky to be here right now. I'm very lucky that I found Jesus and God to get me to be a better man, be a better father, be a better businessman, and to help the people around me. It's super important because so many people are afraid to talk like that because they want to get canceled. And I was one of the guys, you know what, go ahead and try to cancel me. You know, I had my Instagram, Tito Ortiz 1989. I was 5,000 followers or 500,000 followers. They took it away because I was speaking the truth. And it was just, during 2020, there was so much stuff.
The vaccines weren't safe? No. How dare you post that to people? Come on, I'm gonna cancel you.
And it's a pandemic.
Yeah, pandemic, canceled.
I dealt with that.
I only had 15 followers. I got canceled too.
Well, Pat's got 30,000, but
one of them was my
25,000
mom
are.
and my wife.
You don't understand. I was just so one of
people.
One of my friends, Michael Gates, is actually running for Attorney General in California.
Yeah.
So you're in California, you get an opportunity. Michael Gates is the man. Was actually a city attorney when I was in Huntington Beach on city council. And I remember sitting in the chambers, and I said, you know, I know a lot of people are losing their lives because of this pandemic, COVID. And I remember the mayor going, how could you say that? Well, what just happened? They found Fauci. He's the one who got it and brought it here.
Where is Fauci, by the way?
I don't know. Hopefully he's in Guantanamo Bay. They're going to put his ass over there. Yeah. But I went back just recently to go help my friend Michael Gates to do some PR for him. And he goes, Tito, you were correct. I go, damn right I was correct. I told you. But once again, people, you got to do your own research. Don't listen to somebody and believe them. Go out and research and study and we do it. I mean, that's how I found hydroxychloroquine that kills the common flu. You know, I packed that stuff and the doctors say, well, Tito,
whatever you do, don't take ivermectin. It's bad.
Yeah,
bad.
No. Well, that's after the second stage of COVID it attacks your lungs. Ivermectin will take that away. But beginning stages of fever, sweats, coughs, hard breathing, ivermectin, or excuse me, hydroxychloroquine will be the stop. You know, 1984, there's a doctor in China that did a study on it. And this is research I did in 2020 after Trump talked about hydroxychloroquine. There was a doctor in China that did a study and got a Nobel Prize because it cured from pneumonia and the common flu. Well, he did a study on that. In 1984, that was the first time they pushed the vaccine for influenza. And
look what's happened since then.
Yep. And like I say, the problem is that pill only costs 3 cents. Why you can have a pill that costs 3 cents that could cure everybody?
Hold on.
Let's do a vaccine that costs $39.
How did Nancy Pelosi make those $400 million?
Right.
Oh, pharmaceutical stocks.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick though. So while he's endorsing people, How about District 19 congressional race?
Yes.
So Byron Donalds, I know you're a fan of Byron Donalds.
I'm not a fan. I'm a friend and I'm a brother, and I appreciate what he's doing. He's been doing. That's why I live here. I watched what he did in Congress. I'm on this guy knows what he's talking about.
Donalds.
He is a sharp politician, but he's not doing it to make you happy. He's doing it to make this country better, and it's important. I love him.
And our state. He's going to be great. And his wife, Erica.
I mean, I think he's like 64% up right now.
He is.
Just continue on. You know, just continue working, Byron. I appreciate you. My family appreciate you. My wife's like amazing guy, great family man, great husband. You know, you and your wife. You guys are going to do it. I believe in it. Everybody here in Florida got your back. Everybody I talk to in my restaurant, everybody I talk to whenever I do social media, I always bring in Byron Donald.
That's awesome.
You know,
I can't wait to do a celebration. He'll do a celebration tour, and I can't wait to have him come to Tito's Cantina.
Oh, that would be awesome. He's been like, I don't know, when I first opened, he came in. Yeah. He came in, you know, they just had some food with us. We sat down and just chop it up, and amazing awesome, man.
I got guest bartender at the Alamo for that fundraiser. That was awesome too. Good job behind
and
the
another
bar.
one too, Madison Cawthorn.
Yeah,
Madison
Cawthorn. He was just on the show last week.
Wow.
Yeah. Amazing guy. He was again when he was on Congress too himself. It was Congress, right? He was a congressman.
Yeah,
in South Carolina. Was South Carolina? North Carolina?
No, North Carolina.
North Carolina. Correct.
Youngest elected U.S. House representatives in the history of America. Was a Madison Cawthorn.
And he was doing an amazing job. You know, I know. Every once in a while, when you're at such a high point, the devil comes try to attack you, and things happen the wrong way. And I know he's came back and go, you know what, I made mistakes, and it's time to redo this and do it the correct way. And right now here in Florida needs it. And I believe in him.
Fighters, man. We do.
And he just did a thing in my restaurant at Tito's Cantina, and the other guys who are running for the same spot. They're like, Tito, can I come to your spot? But are you endorsing Monty Cawthorn? I didn't want to respond because I want to make sure that I give everybody an opportunity to come speak in front of people. And everybody should have the opportunity that.
And doing the same thing in his story. Yeah.
Yep. And it's important. I mean, that's America. Give them an opportunity to speak and don't be held back of not being able to have the First Amendment. And it's important to have.
Not to put you on the spot, but if you had to pick a name, who's your favorite fire commissioner in Southwest Florida?
There's this one guy. There's one guy everybody talks about. I mean, he's always out and about. You know, this
Pat hasn't seen a host since
Patrick guy,
1989.
you know, this Dearborn guy. He's like getting stuck up by a guy with a gun.
What does a fire commissioner do?
He actually talked to the guy and he put the gun down.
He does podcast shows apparently. Mediocre podcast shows.
I watched your just recent story. I thought that was real.
That was Ant's house.
I thought it was real. Guy came with a gun. I was like, "Is this really happening?" It was like perfect. And all of a sudden, I started reading. I was like, "Oh, that was great."
I'll be real. I'm carrying right now. Someone pulls a gun on me. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
100%.
I always bring a gun to a gunfight.
Yeah, no, that's
in the words of Jim Bloom. Yep. So we got
rapid fire.
We got hey, don't freaking yell at me. We got Mass and Cawthorn. We got Mass and Cawthorn. I love the shout out. So again, rapid fire is his thing. I'm worried about you with your next, so take it easy on him. Yeah. Wow, why are you popping a beer, man?
Well,
wow.
I'm not popping the beer. I'm popping the beer for the champ.
Oh wow.
So you got to choose one or the other. If you choose both, you got to take a nice gulp of MAGA beer. Proud sponsor.
Okay. Wow. Oh, they're gonna pay me for it.
That's called a shameless plug.
Yeah. Okay.
That's called a shameless plug.
Yeah.
Is MAGA beer at Tito's Cantina?
I've had these. I've actually. We had a couple parties. We had this. For sure.
Timmy G swears by.
Hey, what am I? What am I? A potted plant? Can I have one too, man?
Yeah.
Sure can.
I have a cold MAGA beer and maybe buy some MAGA Bitcoin.
Yeah,
with Tito Ortiz.
Yeah, we get an opportunity to use a commercial. Like use Tito Ortiz to do that. I mean, I'm
this
always
cool,
looking
though.
for a sponsor to be good.
This might be I get your iPhones ready. This might be the greatest rapid fire of all time.
Yep.
And if things go sideways, I'm knocking Pat Jira out. All right, let's go.
You ready?
Yeah. What do you got?
Molly Crew or Guns N' Roses?
Molly Crew.
Grant Cardone or Dana White?
That's a tough one. Now, what are we talking about? Friendship, business. I mean, there's a situation.
I'll ask the questions. Grant Cardone.
No, I was asking the question. No, don't get confused, kid. Don't get confused.
Answer a question with a question.
Yeah, don't get confused.
I love this. Don't get confused, kid. I'm just talking about in general.
What's wrong with Dana's good side? I would say Dana. I don't know Grant really, really well, but he's always been very nice, very humble with me.
Okay.
You know, Dana has a really good side of him. It's just he has so much money and he feels like he's untouchable, which is scary. So I'd say Grant Cardone.
Ron DeSantis or Byron Donalds?
Byron Donalds. I met Ron DeSantis and he was very stiff. He was very standoffish, and I was confused. Like I went there to an event to actually kind of talk with him. I go, "How you doing?" I'm Tito Ortiz. He goes, "Oh, pleasure to meet you." And walked away. I was like, what's wrong with this guy? But everybody I talk to says he's like that to everybody. But Byron Donald, hands down. Yeah, he's the man. He's the man.
Okay, cool. My turn, man. Can I go?
Yeah, absolutely.
Enchiladas or tacos?
At my restaurant, I would have to say the enchiladas with queso sauce.
Enchiladas are solid.
Yeah, they're fine. They're damn good.
Tom Brady or Joe Montana? Two Cali guys.
Brady all day. Are you kidding me? That's one of the greatest. That's the GOAT right there. Hands down. Not even comparison at all. And believe me, I grew up watching Joe Montana too, and he was great at the time until he came about. Way different. How many world titles he has? 6, 7?
Well, Brady?
Yeah.
Brady's got 6, right, Timmy?
6.
Yeah.
7.
7? Does he have 7? I think he's got 6, but
6.
Well,
he's like Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, hands down, is the greatest also.
I'm just fact checking.
Yeah.
You're a friend with the Trump family. You can only pick one. Eric Trump or Don Jr.?
Don Jr. because he fishes. Yeah. He's a good dude too.
Okay.
And congratulations on his marriage. Awesome.
Congrats.
Got a beautiful wife. Awesome.
Cool.
Grady Judd or Sheriff Carmine?
Sheriff Carmine, hands down.
Wow.
He's an awesome guy.
Yeah.
And he gets confused because the things that he's done prior, but once again, he's out for the best interest of this community, hands down. I've seen some work, and I've made it this is an example. He said, you do break the law in Lee County, we're blasting on social media, and everybody know that you're a scumbag, and that's how it should be. It's great. Sacrifice them, make them not want to do it. And that's when you put fear into people's heart by breaking the law. They won't do it again. I mean, look back in witch days back in Salem. They executed people. Yeah, they executed people. I think we should bring execution back for people that molest children. 100%. 100%.
I got a serious one. You ready?
Yep.
Blackfin tuna or yellowfin tuna?
Yellowfin. Yellowfin are a lot bigger. They fight better.
They do.
I mean, yeah, they're bigger. I mean, you fish, Louisiana. We have them on the West Coast, but they only get to about 100 pounds. That's the biggest one they get.
I told you he'd name drop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good job not name dropping today, Pat. I'm proud of you. Conservative Anna or Commissioner Dearborn?
He He's gonna go Cape Coral.
No, I go Dearborn. Yeah, I love Ant. He's like a little brother. But Dearborn,
Wow,
man,
see,
wow.
that's why you don't never assume.
Community, that's important.
Appreciate
and
it,
Ant's still working. He's still working to get to your position. So he's a little bit behind you. I love Ant though. Ant, I love you.
And I love your millions of followers to my 15 followers. I love Ant. He's actually my favorite.
Everybody loves him. I mean, everybody loves
my
the gay
favorite.
guy.
He's my
awesome.
favorite gay guy. He is
love
amazing.
conservative.
I'll be honest with you. He's sexy as hell too.
All the girls love him.
He's getting in shape.
Yeah, and he's getting in shape.
I saw him curling 5-pound dumbbells now. He's getting stronger, man.
Actually, no, they were 10. They were 10
Oh,
pounds.
He's
Yeah,
10 now.
10
10.
pounds.
And I'm only kidding you.
Close it out, Pat. Last one. What you got?
Pass. You go.
He couldn't think of anything. See,
Tito Ortiz has picked me out. I'm gonna end on that.
You put me on the spot. Donald Trump or Ronald Reagan?
Wow. Pat Jira.
That's a really good one, but I go back to Contra, what they did during that time, and I know the CIA had a lot to do with it too, but he agreed and he let it happen. There's history that actually bums me out because he made the drugs actually more popular, and then he actually got away from it because his wife Nancy
just say no.
Say no. She started that
puff,
for a reason.
Puff,
to
puff, give.
To get him away from that, to not put his spot on him.
Yeah. By the way, the war on drugs. How's that going?
And I'll say Donald Trump all day because he's actually he's legit. He's one of the best presidents we've ever had in this country. 100%, hands down. He says what everybody's thinking.
Real quick, and this could go for both of you. How would you rate his first term compared to his second term?
The second term is 100% different. Yeah, because his
different.
First, yeah,
it is. But which one do you think is better?
The second one, just because the first one he thought he could trust the people that he was with, and there was no people to be trusted. And right now, I mean, this is speculation, in my opinion. I think he may be kind of infiltrated a little bit right now. There's a lot of things that are going on. It's kind of scary. After what happened to Charlie Kirk, that was an assassination, and it wasn't by the shooter.
No.
Was not by the shooter. I looked at it.
100%,
someone to get shot in the neck with a 302. Anybody that shots weapons, anybody that has been trained of knowing how bullets hit, how bullets shatter people, that was something that was totally different. You can see the mic, how it was and where it came off of. They slow-moed it, and it's not a conspiracy theory. This is something that's true. And it starts to get a little more deeper when Israel comes into about, because he was speaking so much against them, and they thought they control a person because they want him to be the next president. And he started questioning everything, and the man of God that he is, he was questioning everything, and he had a little doubt of some things that are happening, and that's why I get rid of him. I want to stop there just because I'm not affiliated to do anything to try to hurt what they're trying to do. To me, it's just I'm an American with my first right to speak the truth, and I see what happened, and I'm a common sense guy. I'm an honest man. I look at things, and you're not going to sway me any other way because I see the way that it's happening. It's scary. I just wish people would understand what's going on and what Trump's trying to do, and I hope Trump is not infiltrated. And that's my opinion.
It's all good.
Not facts
well,
at all.
Have you on here.
It's my opinion. And I love this country. I've traveled the world before. Every time I came to this country, I've been always proud, happy. My kids are safe here in Florida, Southwest Florida. I'm proud to be an American. I've traveled the world. I've been to communist countries, and I don't want that here. And it's here right now.
1,000%.
People need to wake up. Democrats here for the old Democrats of the 80s. You are now conservatives. You are not Democrats now. Democrats now are communists and socialists, and they're trying to push that agenda right now.
I'm gonna end this on my side with something that goes back to our faith. Because, look, man, we can start talking politics and sports, and everybody's gonna have an opinion.
Right.
And I'll be honest with you, you start getting sucked into that stuff, it can take you down.
Oh, it'll take you down 100%.
But here's why I end on a positive note, because my favorite thing about you, and I've told you before, you and Amber, I can look at people and I can see who you are. When I see your kids and how you raise your kids, when I see Jim Bloom and his daughters, and I see how I raised my son, I see Pat Jira's daughter. When you look, I look at Garrett Caldback's two kids. I look at my adopted son, Ricky Haas. He's been a trouble, but he's still a very good young man. When I look at people's kids, how you raised your boys, when I came in your place and they're working, yes, sir, no, sir. I see their boys, how they're also phenomenal wrestlers, but they're good young men. And they have manners, and you raised them right. But my other thing about you that I love is you're a David, meaning that, man, you are a wild man, but God knows your heart, and he's using you to spread that word. So I'm gonna finish with 100%. This. I'm gonna finish with this. A famous guy once told me that I do Bible study with. His name's Coach V, Pastor Van Duzer. He always tells us, share the gospel, share the word, and if you have to, use words.
100%.
You walk it, you talk it. It's not just lip service with you, man. Anybody wants to look at you and how you operate, they can see it all the way. And I want to thank you as somebody that struggles all the time. I may not make it home today without having a bout of road rage or one to knock somebody out. I look at you, one of the toughest guys on planet Earth. I look how you are as a family man. I look how you are with our community. I look what you do with veterans. And I like what you do with walking the faith. I'm not saying you're perfect because you ain't perfect.
No, I'm not. No.
But I'm just telling you, man, you inspire
no.
guys like me. So I'm just telling you right now, thank you for everything you're doing.
Thank you.
And I know you're hurting, and it means a lot to us, to you to come down here and show up on this show.
I'll be good. Like I said, on Monday I get my surgery. I'm going to get that
Appreciate
done,
you,
and
man.
I'll be 6 weeks out, but I'll be okay. And then a little story that people may not know. My grandfather, actually, Herman Johnson, he was a pastor at Door of Faith in Maui. So he used to speak the gospel all the time. And when I started wrestling, right before he passed, was on right before Thanksgiving, and he passed right before Christmas. And I remember sitting on his lap. I was a freshman in high school, just started wrestling, and he goes, "Now, Tito, you know your name's Jacob, and you know Jacob in the Bible wrestled against an angel, and the angel saved his life." He goes, "You found wrestling? I promise you, son, it's gonna make you a great man." And I was fortunate he did that, and I always think about that because there's always things in my life when I was fighting, and I just had a little doubt in my life, and he showed his presence a couple times. I remember opening the windows. I was at the the Trump Taj Mahal in Jersey, and I opened up the window, and the sun shined the light through my room, and it hit the sparkles. My whole room lit up. That fight lasted 32 seconds. He was watching over me, and he says, "I'm still watching you." And I think when I almost drowned, I think he was the one that grabbed me by the neck and said, "Get up." And I'm fortunate. I'm fortunate to have him in my life because as a young kid, a kid that came from the streets, parents are drug addicts. My mom got sober, took me away from my father. I had that same situation with my ex, Jenna. I had twin boys that were 3 years old. She was getting into drugs and going down the same road that I did as a kid. I seen that flashback, and I understood that right now I got to make the decision that my mother made. I love Jenna. I mean, I did everything that I possibly could to make life right because I wanted the beautiful wife, beautiful home, white picket fence. I wanted that dream of being an American, the American dream, and I had it, and she let it all go. She has been a part of the kids' lives for 14 years. Amber is one of the wonderfulest wife, one of the wonderfulest mothers. She's not a blood mother to them, but she treats them like blood. And they got to understand that when she treats it hard to them, and she's trying to mold them into great men, as I do myself. That's the way you can tell a person by their characters of their children, how they are, how they're respectful.
1,000%.
And I'm thankful God looks over us, and He could help each and every one of you guys too. You just got to believe, and you don't have to go to church every week. I mean, you could do it and watch it on TV, but just pick up the Bible every once in a while, go through a verse.
Guys who got my brother out. We prayed for him in our group on Tuesday morning. He went to court, and it was a long shot. People were giving up on him. We never did, and 25 of us prayed for him at the table. Literally 3 hours later, and Aaron was driving over with Sarka, and the judge threw the case out, and he was back home within 24 hours.
Welcome
so
home.
God is good all the time.
Don't make sure you hang around people that actually get you locked up again. So
yeah, that's why he's hanging out in this room right now. Iron sharpens iron. Absolutely. Proverbs 27:17.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, champ, for coming on.
Thanks to our audience too, man. Big audience.
Recovering. Yeah, big shout
I hope you guys see me in a different light. At the end of the day, I just try to be good. Big man above me was watching over me. I try to be a great father, great husband. Businessman. I'm just surviving and making sure that my children have the right upbringing and then a great father, someone that's present. And if you fathers, be present with your children. Grab them and hug them and tell them you love them. That's all they want to hear. And even as an adult, my wife tells me that she's proud of me, and I say back to her that I love her and you're beautiful.
That's awesome.
Always
brother.
do that. Always just try to excel people in a positive manner, and you guys can make it happen. God bless you guys. Thank you so much.
Champ. Until next time, Pat.
Next question.